Hello, friends, and happy Thursday. Happy MS Awareness Week. This is day number 4 of MS Awareness Week, and I'm coming to you live. We are stronger than MS, right? As my clothes always say. So this week I've been going live, doing my daily March fitness challenge, those 5 moves that we do for a minute each. But then I'm also coming to you to share some information on MS. So I've talked about what is MS, I've talked about symptoms, and today we're going to talk about MS and wellness. When you think about wellness, I kind of took this from the National MS Society, has a wonderful Pathways to Wellness and MS program in different series. And so when you think about wellness, there's a lot of different dimensions, right? We've got our physical wellness, which includes exercise and diet. We've got our social wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, mental wellness. And so when I think about how I have handled my MS diagnosis and incorporating wellness into that, it kind of has a lot of different components. So when I think about my physical wellness, obviously like being active has just been a huge part of my life prior to my diagnosis, and I've just allowed that to continue, learning to listen to my body, but really making sure that I'm staying physically active. That looks different every day, whether that's, doing a boot camp class, to stretching, to going outside. So physical wellness is super important. Diet, I've done all the different diets, but at the end of the day, my mental health is really important. And so, trying to maintain, eating healthy, but also enjoying life and having the pizza and having the cake with my friends, super important. When I think about social wellness, like my social circles look different in a lot of different ways, from the types of friends that I surround myself with, really healthy relationships, to being involved in my church and having that encouragement, to just my family being super supportive, including my husband, who comes to my doctor's appointments, listens to the doctor, shares what he sees too. And so that social component is super important, but I've also found the importance of getting connected to the MS community. I am so thankful for social media. I'm thankful for the people that this disease has connected me to, people who really understand it and who really get it. And so I just encourage you, if you live with MS, to find people within this community because they get it. And that's just really, really important. I started focusing more on my emotional and mental health since this diagnosis. So seeking out mental health professionals has been huge and integral to my journey, because living with a chronic disease can be really hard. MS itself can cause different mental health challenges. And so I'm just super thankful for mental health professionals. I'm a huge advocate of that. I think it's super important. But I think the spiritual wellness component is probably a cornerstone to who I am. I grew up in a Christian home, and this diagnosis is a huge part of my testimony. I really believe that God has allowed this disease to happen in my life to come alongside other people and encourage them and give them hope. And He has used this disease in so many different ways. And if it wasn't for my spiritual health, I don't know how I would handle living with this disease. I think this disease is constantly a reminder that I have to rely on God for my strength. I mean, I've got tattoos all over me that are just reminders that apart from Him, I can do nothing, and that He is my anchor when things are uncertain and scary, that because of my faith, that's what holds me together, and that is my cornerstone in everything that I do. And so finding spiritual wellness is super important, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's being outside or, having some type of religion. I think that's just been huge for my journey. And so I just encourage you to take a look at the National MS Society's Pathways to Wellness and MS program. They really go in depth of like the research and practical tips for all these different components. Super awesome. I'll make sure to put a link in there. But anyways, that's just a little bit about MS, me living with it, and what it looks like to just like walk life with all these different components and different various stages of life, focusing on maybe a different dimension is kind of my thing. So that's just a little bit about MS and wellness. And so speaking of wellness, we're going to do some physical activity. So wherever you're at today, whether you are at work, take a 5-minute break, get your body moving. It's so good for your mental health, emotional health, physical health. That's why I love physical activity, because it really does help us in all these different ways. So let's get the blood pumping. Let's get those endorphins going so you can be kind to your family, be kind to your coworkers, be kind to yourself, and show that you are stronger than MS or whatever it is, whatever struggle you're facing today. So we're gonna get our exercises in. Seated or standing, you choose. But first we're gonna take a big breath in up overhead and exhale. You have breath in your lungs, which means you have purpose today. How are you gonna use today, right? Big breath in again and exhale. Let's open up those arms a couple of times, seated or standing. So glad you are joining me. All right, friends, we're gonna start with that lower body exercise, those sit to stands. You can stand, you can do leg extensions, up to you. We're starting with 1 minute of work. Let's go. Now, if you want this to be more challenging, you can always add a weight, holding the weight, sitting and standing. Like I've said before, this is a super functional move. We do this every day. Getting up from our chair, coming up from the table, toilet. This move allows us to continue to maintain our independence, maintain our mobility. But you know what? If we need others to help us, that is okay. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to use mobility devices to help get you moving, get you through the day. It helps conserve energy. Amazing. Good. Keep going. We're halfway there. I'd love to know, when you think of wellness in all of its dimensions, what are you focusing on these days? Is it your physical wellness? What you're putting in your body, how you're making your body move? Is it your social wellness, finding your community that's healthy? Yep. Good. Last one here. Shake it out. Rest. Find your weight. We're going heavy today. All right. Are we ready? We're going that curl. Press. Press it forward. 1 minute of work. Let's go. So I'm going to show you from the side. Curl, press, and reach it forward. So back to that social wellness. Find your community, whether that's church, support groups, people in your neighborhood. We are not meant to do life alone, right? We're also supposed to have healthy relationships. What does that look like? Man, that takes so much work. I think it's like a learning. It's a constant evolving, working thing. Finding good friendships that we can trust, share life with, do life with. I'm super thankful when we moved here to Illinois. I found a church right away, which is really hard to do as a military spouse. Found amazing people, a small group to just do life with. And I'm just so thankful for that because they provide such encouragement and prayer, and that's just really important to me. So, good. 5 more seconds. Curl press. We're working that upper body. Let's go. And rest. Drop that weight. Moving on to our cardio portion. Cardio and talking at the same time. Try that. It really gets the heart rate up there. All right, are we ready? High to low punches. Let's go. 1 minute. Up, up, down, down. Good. Are you focusing on your mental and emotional wellness maybe? Maybe you're like, okay, finally, I'm going to go find somebody to talk to. I'm telling you, worth it. It's worth the investment. It's amazing how somebody that you don't even know, you just talk about the struggles you're having, and they really help kind of untangle all the challenges. Life is hard. So, find somebody. I promise. It's worth it. Good. Halfway there. Good. Or are you focusing on your spiritual wellness? Maybe that looks like meditation, finding quiet, stillness, exploring your faith. What does that look like? Happy to talk to you about it. I'm just saying, maybe we can't focus on all of these things at the same time, but they're really important. Good. Let's go. And rest. We're finishing with core. Find your weight if you want to try it with weight. I'm going to do a little bit of a different version where I'm going to reach up to the sky and then just twist across. Again, seated or standing. Let's go. Nice. I hope that you are enjoying learning about, MS, wellness. Good. Keep going. I'm going to show you that seated option too. MS is such a complicated disease. It affects us all so differently, but together we are stronger. When we do hard things, when we do the mundane, we are showing that we truly are stronger than this disease. Good. This disease does not defined me. It has not stopped me. It has slowed me down. It has humbled me. But I really do believe that there is purpose in everything that happens to us. It's just a matter of how we're going to use it. Are we going to use it for good? Come alongside people, encourage them on their journey too, or just dwell in the troubles? Last one. Nice. Drop that weight. So glad you're joining me. Tomorrow, we got one more day where I come live, and I'm going to talk about some really amazing organizations that people living with MS or connected to people living with MS should totally tap into. So I'll talk about that tomorrow. And if you want to work out with me live, whoever you are, make sure to register to join me on Zoom live Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time, or 12 Eastern Time, or 10 Mountain Time, or 9 a.m. Pacific Time. I'd love for you to join me. It's super fun to get to work out face-to-face with community. Super powerful. So we'll do these 5 moves together, get a nice warm-up and a cool down, chit-chat for a little bit. So I hope you join me. It's free. So no excuses, right? All right. Make it a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.